Kamala Harris voters, I'm going to give you the inside track to defeating Trump using No King's Day. So listen to the inside track of this. This is one day after No King's Day, and I'm going to show you something that's going to help us tremendously, all of us, okay? My name is Darren Monroe. I used to work on Kamala Harris's campaign. I have 30 years marketing branding experience, and on this channel, I take you from chaos to clarity, but I do that thanks to a group called the Clarity Group. So click the link in my description and in my homepage of this channel and join that group, because I'm going to help you decode drama. I'm going to help you identify the real data and develop a better you in the midst of Trumpism. If you love the idea of that, at least go look at the page. Now, let's get into that whole thing about defeating Trump. And this is what I teach people in my Clarity Group in vivid detail. The first thing we're going to do in this whole scenario, the first big thing that we're going to do, is we are going to acknowledge that this was an incredibly successful campaign. But we also got to acknowledge the first No King that happened June 14th. There was a problem. It was big, but this one was bigger. Great. But there was a problem. See, right after No King's Day, Donald Trump did what he does best, marketing brand. In other words, marketing is getting word out there. Branding is getting you to remember a certain theme, something that makes you stand out 100% from everybody else. What Trump did was say, I might bomb Iran. And that stood out. That got the papers right after June 14th. By June 21st, nobody was talking about No King's Day. We need to change that narrative this time. We need to keep going in the news cycle, at least for the next 2 weeks, if we can. And it's hard because a 24-hour news cycle can go quick, especially in the world of Trumpism. So here's where you come in. I know it sounds kind of cheesy, but it really does work. The first thing you got to do is acknowledge the fact that the issue we're missing is the marketing. See, we got politicians finally in line in the Congress. Schumer and Jeffrey suck, but at least they're in line holding this shutdown, right? And then the other thing we're doing is we got the 23 governors and attorney generals, and they have been kicking ass. So much so that one of them, Letitia James, is getting attacked. We're doing good on the politics, at least for once, especially with the governors. Governors been represented. They have saved us trillions of dollars, y'all. God bless them. The 23 Democratic governors and attorney generals. The next level is the activists. Obviously, we have that. We had millions of people out here in this No King's Day. And when they're not doing No King's Day, what are they doing? ICE protests. They are out there. And then there are the street organizations that work out trying to help people, like how to have, we've had thousands of ICE watch meetings across the nation. We've had thousands of committees and organizing. We've even had the street gangsters, real gangsters, gangbangers, who have been out there making truce so they can somehow help the community as well, because they realize the shit is rough. In every major city getting attacked. Then we have the branding, No King's Day. Everybody knows that one. No King's Day, No King's Day. Well, there's this part we're missing, the marketing. The marketing element is what kicked our asses, like I said earlier. What we have to do is outmarket this man, Donald Trump, because he's going to come with drama all the way through. Have you noticed his pattern? Have you noticed? Have you noticed? Those of you who've been following me, you notice. Those of you in the Clarity Group watching this, you notice. But have you noticed this pattern? I want you to understand this. At the beginning and end of every week, he's going to come up with some drama. And it's been from the last 38 weeks. It's not new. He basically come up with, alligator Alcatraz. I'm going to reopen Alcatraz. $400 million plane. WWE wrestling in the White House. Whatever sensationalism he can create to make sure he dominates, so you don't think about Epstein shut down, so you don't think about the big beautiful bill at the time before it got voted on, so you didn't think about gerrymandering, and certainly don't think about No King's Day. And right now it's important because No King's Day could get his next drama that he brings up is, I might bomb Iran. And it's not that he actually going to bomb Iran. It's something equivalent to that would take away all of the synergy that just happened with thousands of rallies and millions of people coming together in peace saying we resist. We got to have marketing afterwards. You know, I used to work for Universal DreamWorks MCA Radio, and in radio, Clear Channel Radio, now known as iHeartMedia, the real work started after the events. Making sure we had the follow up on the website, follow up in on air verbiage and language, the follow up, anything that was follow up that we needed to do. What we need to follow up with No Kings is this. And again, I said this, but I'm going to say it again. And that is, we need to share. We need to like. We need to repost. We need to put, those of you who caught the event, get your content done today and get it stretched out. You don't need to put it out there once. Old school people, let me tell you, you don't put it out once. You make sure that you break it up, if you can, into several different ones. So it stretches out now to the end of the month. We got 2 weeks, a little less than 2 weeks to go. Okay, 13 days. We got to make this thing last and stand out there. And you got to support, at the very least, everybody doing this. I have literally done over 300 repostings through my TikTok, through my Instagram, putting that content out there. And the most powerful thing I can say here on YouTube is that we need to continue the marketing, because this man, Donald Trump, is brilliant at 2 key things: branding, standing out, and marketing. He knows this stuff. And sales. Come on, man. The difference between that, for those who don't know, is marketing is bringing people to your store to buy something, whether it's online or off. Sales is clarifying what you're offering and making it enticing with benefits. Branding is the reason you bought. Branding is the connection. Branding is saying the things that connect with people so much that they actually like you and want to do business with you. When he told those racist white people, I'm going to build a wall and make the Mexicans pay for it. Do you know how much audacity that fucking was? That was gangster. It was. He said things this past election, even though you know what was stolen, that was amazing. I said, in order for him to win, he have to go further left. And technically, I know you're going to say in my comments, he didn't win. I understand. I'm not here to fight that. I believe so too, that the math ain't math, and then you know what was stolen. But so much so, YouTube gave $24 million to this punk motherfucker. He gave, so I'm not going to upset YouTube. This is their platform. I'm going to play by their rules, okay? Here's the thing I'm trying to tell you. He knows his marketing, sales, and branding, and his ability to brand people by saying the wildest shit that they resonate with. That he's so openly racist, so openly misogynist, so openly xenophobic, homophobic, so openly prejudiced, is that's what they love. His core loves that. And the people who claim to not love him or keep it on the low and say, oh, it's not racism, but they gladly go over there. That's their boy. But I want you to understand this. If we get out the fact of the protest and we don't get it overtaken by his next drama coming up this week, possibly today, then what we can do is move forward to the next thing and begin to focus on ESPN. We focused on the end, No Kings, but we got to keep focus, ESGN, excuse me. We got to focus on the gerrymandering. We got to focus on the shutdown and keep our pressure on Epstein. That's why you might have seen my crazy videos, especially on TikTok and Instagram shorts, where I put, because I don't put shorts on YouTube, but my shorts on Instagram and TikTok are nothing but running with the Epstein files. You know, I do some gerrymandering stuff. I do some shutdown stuff. I'm doing it. And I'm trying to tell you all right now, the biggest picture that I see out there that's taking place is the ability to keep the narrative on our side. We got the narrative on our side in the shutdown. We got the narrative on our side in the gerrymandering. Because if we don't gerrymander and we don't fight this out, these people could take over. The shutdown, if we don't keep the shutdown, millions will lose their subsidies and die. We have the narrative on No King's Day, because this whole be a king and be a ruler, dictator, fascist, or want to be a ruler, dictator, fascist, autocrat is bullshit. And we also have the narrative on Epstein, most of all. Epstein is real big in their face, especially since they don't even want to have Congress to get the 218th congressperson to sign from Arizona so they can release those files. We're winning. We're winning. We're winning. And I got to understand that we got to continue to win with the narrative. At least another week. It'd be great to the end of the month, but at least another week showing the thousands, tens of thousands, millions of people across all our countries, even across other countries like Japan, London, Australia. A whole bunch of people are protesting in support of us on No King's Day. What I want you to understand is very clearly, this is obviously something that we can keep going, but you need to support this narrative of sharing. And please share this video. That's all I'm saying. Just keep the vibe going. Please keep the vibe going. And if you want to feel like you're decoding the drama and you're identifying the data and you're going to develop a better you despite Trumpism, in spite of Trumpism, join me in my group, because it's the only personal development group for liberals who are trying to escape and get over Trumpism and at the same time feel better, do better, and move better. It's called the Liberal Clarity Group. Click the link in the description of this video or on my homepage on YouTube. It's a game changer, and you want to get in while you can get in. It's at a deal right now, and it's at a deal that's going to be tripling up, okay? Get in. See you there.